Well, I'm happy that we are in Alexander. So there was a xenophobic attack here in Alex, where people who were selling somewhere on the streets were removed.
Yeah.
Successfully by those things of Dodula, what, successfully.
Yeah.
And that space was empty for almost 3 days.
Yeah.
And Alexander people were the ones who were complaining that we want to buy tomatoes, want to buy vegetables, and the people have been chased away, the people that we buy from. If that was a genuine issue, why after chasing those people from empty spaces, didn't South Africans go and occupy that space and sell those tomatoes since they took your job and you successfully removed them? So why didn't you go and take the space that those people occupied? So it's not a genuine concern. It's an attack. You know, you look at you splitting hair because there's nothing can attack the EFF on in terms of principle. JJ, when we started, this is in our founding manifesto. It has never been an issue. The issue was expropriation of land without compensation. They went everywhere and told people, that was an attack on the EFF. When that was articulated very well and we stayed on it and never got shaken, they moved away. They said they're going to nationalize the banks, they're going to nationalize the mines. We said, this is our nationalization. We established a state-owned mining company that is going to compete with the private sector. This is our nationalization of the banks. We established a state-owned bank to compete with the commercial banks. And you can't say this will destroy the banks. Why didn't public schools destroy private schools? Why do we have private school and have public school?
Parallel, living side by side.
The private schools are still doing business even when there is public schools. Why do we have private hospitals and public hospitals? And private hospitals are making more money even when there is an existence of public hospitals.
So you're saying that
who said a public bank will close a private bank? So public mining company will close.
Are you saying your call to say South Africa first is a wrong call? Because if if when I asked Tlhabisa about jobs, he's saying their approach to jobs is the South African first. They need to, if there's somebody in South Africa can do the job, don't give that job to a Zimbabwean.
Have you ever listened to me talking about jobs? The EFF thing is jobs. Is land and jobs now. Stop load shedding. And I say, these ANC people sleep with you to give you a job. We're going to stop that. The only requirement you want is to have a South African ID and have the qualifications. South African ID, you South Africa first. South African ID. I don't have to say South Africa first. And I don't have to be anti-Africans. When I say I love my wife, it doesn't mean I hate Sito. No, I say South Africans, you will be a priority in terms of your qualifications and all of that. Because these are their jobs.
But don't you think your message there is not accentuated then? Because people are always using a cloud that says, oh, this guy's going to open the borders and hire all the people from Zimbabwe.
So, South Africans are people who are very open about everything. They would have said to me in the biggest rallies, stop that thing we are talking about. Once I start talking about the love for Africans and how this country must unite the African continent, the whole stadium is receptive. Tell me of a country that is rich because of borders. Or no, that country is very successful. It's a world-class country because of a fence. They've got a fence. And a fence led to success. America has got no fence. 54 states under one president, United States of America. Why are they not putting fence for themselves? Why is Europe not putting fence? If fence is a prerequisite for success, for a country to prosper, you need a fence. And even if you need a fence, there is no fence between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Mackenzie went, he showed you, there's no fence. There's no fence in Lesotho. Actually, he thought he was exposing that these people have got no fence. We've been I said that long time ago. I said, you are acting like mad people. You have a gate, but you don't have a fence. And then you come back at your house without a fence, you open a gate to enter your yard. Doesn't make sense. There is no fence. Africans have moved. It is only those who are threatened by the unity of the Africans who perpetuate a message of hatred. But my last point is, why do you hate me for saying people must unite? I'm not dividing people.
It seems that it's become an election issue, because if you just have to look at what the ANC is doing in terms of the amendment of the Migration or Immigration Act, right? Do you think they are falling into that trap, that they feel the noise of people as anti-African sentiment or anti-foreigner sentiment, and they are now trying to fit into that, strengthen the borders, appoint the border management agency? You saw the border management agency, they were in full force this weekend, etc.
Well, my brother, the 2019 anti-EFF campaign was dishing out title deeds. We don't want to take your land. Yeah, the title deeds. Yeah. Even people got title deeds here in Alexander. I'm like, to do what with that title deed? Because it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. If anything, Alexander needs massive development, not title deeds. So they said that in 2019. We were unshaken about it, and we still didn't win elections. I will never engage in a political expediency. Yeah. At the altar of a principle. Rather die on a principle with your boots on than to die an amoeba, shapeless. This one pulls you that way, this one pulls you that way. Before we know it, you have got no shape. You are shapeless, and we can't define what kind of animal is this. Yeah. I'm saying we need a borderless Africa for free movements of people and goods. And that free movement of people and goods doesn't mean undocumented. Because if I didn't want undocumented people, I would have said, don't take IDs, South Africans. Yeah. What are you doing with documents? All of us have to be identified. And it is documentation that will identify who we are. Even when African state is united, you still have to tell from which state are you. Europe without borders, there's still Italians, there's still Germans, there's still the British who are saying they're exiting that thing.
So you don't believe in this whole thing about illegal immigration? You are saying that the borders must be open enough for Africans to unite.
You can't be illegal in Africa as African. Because if you follow that, all of us in this room will be in danger. Our roots come from there in the continent. Yeah. We're
so all the whole hype about border management authority, you don't buy it?
I don't care about that. It's a like you said, it's a gimmick. It's an election gimmick. Yeah. After that, they are going to leave it. The ANC. Yeah. The ANC. None of these people, except Cyril Ramaphosa, crossed into Africa with a passport. They didn't have any documents. Jacob Zuma, Thabo Mbeki, and them, they went.
I think they've soon forgotten that, and
they're now telling us another story. When they were there, O.R. Tambo was treated like a state president by other African states. Yeah. But do you know that Nigeria civil servants had a money deducted from their salaries, called the Liberation Fund, official from government salaries, to finance liberation movements in Africa, including the ANC and the PAC.
So you
for us to be liberated.
The EFF is going to stand by this principle. You are not going to be swayed by election mode, where people are beginning to say, be soft, be a little bit soft on this whole issue of open borders.
Well, my brother, here's the whole manifesto. You have an issue with one. Yeah. What is your problem? Who said you are going to find a perfect woman? Where? She's so beautiful, but she might have those things of being noisy or something, but I can work on that. Yeah. So there's nothing called beautiful. Even DNA. Yeah. When you test children DNA, it doesn't say 100%. It said 99.9999 on the basis of that one that is missing there. Yeah. This is not my child.
All right.
You sound like a fool if a person argues like that.
All right. Let's talk about the second constituency now. Yes. White people. There is a narrative about EFF and white, because your emphasis obviously African child, etc. You've always said you're not against white people, you are for the black child, right? Let's talk to Afrikaners today, and some of them may be listening, some of the community radio stations joining us here tonight, right? And some are saying, hey, if Julius gets into the union buildings, we are going to run for the hills. What do you say to them tonight?
If you put an Englishman here and put an Afrikaner here and make me choose, I'll choose Afrikaner.
Why?
Because you know what you are dealing with. A racist of note. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't create an impression that we're together when we're not together. Actually, the other second point I like about Afrikaners is that majority of them have got one passport. So their loyalty is with this country. They might have a difficulty of identifying with us as one thing because they believe in two nations in one country. But these other ones, white liberals that Biko had a problem with, are the most dangerous people who during the day denounces all manner of things, and then they go behind closed walls to speak very bad about us and exclude us from our own economy. Afrikaners have fought. They fought against the British. They fought against their colonial suppression in the country because they too were oppressed and had to fight for their own liberation against the British colonialism. So those are the kind of people that I will deal. There's no white person I can drive to the sea. I don't want to do that. That has never been my
But are you
intention.
reaching out to these people to see what their fears? You remember even with the 94 era coming, there was always this thing about white fears, black aspirations, contradistinction between the two, etc. Looks like we're back there because white people seem to still be in this corner, and that's why you have organizations that are mobilizing on the basis of that fear. How do you conquer that? I mean, listen to what John Steenhuisen said after your 10th anniversary, talking about trying to hype the issue of Kill the Boer, and then even said there is genocide and went overseas and what have you, and that showed that there's still a sense in which people can mobilize whites against something like the EFF that is talking about transformation, etc., big issues about land, what that may be seen to be threatening Afrikaners.
Well, there's nothing I can do to contest with Swart Khafar. It's a Swart Khafar. It's not real. It's a scaremongering. That these people, when they take over, they're going to do this. They said the same thing about Mandela. That we're not going to be led by a prisoner who's going to come and take our land. Of course, he was talking nationalization himself, Mandela, at the time.
Absolutely. In the first few days.
Yes.
Of his release.
And then they left. Those are the hobos, the white hobos you see today here in South Africa. They left their properties at the Vaal River. They left and said, these people are going to kill us. When they were there, they realized they are not rich. The rent compared to those currencies, there is nothing. Some of them had to do the jobs that we're doing for them outside there. And they said the best thing, let's go back. And when they came back, it was too late. So I can't deal with that. And these things of ours are written in English. And of late, I saw the SDS printed Afrikaans now. And all different languages. So they can read that for themselves and they know what I want. Because that's what they Afrikaners wanted. I want what Afrikaners wanted from the British. I'm asking for the same thing, and they know what that means. It means that they are going to be in a dinner table with monkeys, and they don't want that. This boy is asking for mad things. How can I be equal to my subject? So we cannot listen to that. We listen to genuine concerns. Let's go to the white Afrikaners. They gave each other land in the 90s when they knew 1994 is coming. The Clerk and them went to explain to them, ran referendum, said, guys, let's allocate ourselves. There was a road that was built between Rustenburg and Mafeking. And this story I get told by Thandi Modise, she's still alive. When they were building this road to Mafeking, they had to go past the farms. When they pass the farms, they are expropriating land. But South Africa's law says when you expropriate land, you must compensate. Now they say to the white Afrikaners, bring title deeds so that we can compensate you for the piece of land we took when we're passing by your farm. No, that is my contribution. That is my contribution. You know why? They don't have title deeds. Most of these farmers don't have title deeds. They gave to each other. There's a comrade of mine who went to take a land in Midval when we were occupying land. Told this white Afrikaner, my guy, from here to here, from today, is me. That man said, I'm going to fight with you. I'm going to take you to police station. You can't take my land. And this comrade says to me, I just went to buy a fence and I fenced that place.
Yeah.
One neighbors, me and that guy. He can't go anywhere. He doesn't have a title deed.
Yeah.
He was told as he was doing door to door. He's not from Midval.
Yeah.
But no, there is an Afrikaner there who has taken a huge piece of land and everybody's scared, very scared of that guy.
Yeah.
My guy is now farming pigs in that land. And the Afrikaner, they are together. They advise each other of, no, but here we can do this. Anama Bambiri doesn't have papers.
Yeah.
Yes. So those most
So
of
that
them
brings
don't
us to
have
the
papers.
issue of land, which is truly what the fear is. The whole issue about expropriation of land without compensation. How do you make it palatable? And I know that you're saying we're not scared of this and we're not supposed to listen to that. How do you make it palatable to people? Because frankly, I had a conversation with somebody from AfriForum a couple of years ago, and I asked him a simple question. Let me, Chief, when you've got 30 hectares
Yes.
of land and you live on 2 hectares, and 2 hectares is a big
Yeah,
big
too
piece of
much.
land, right? Even if you put a massive house, you still have
Yes.
like you won't even see where the sun is setting. But let's say you have 5 hectares, just to be silly, right? Why can't you give up this other 25 and give it to other people, because actually you are not using it, right? Is that the kind of approach that you may use to implement this thing when you actually now have the power, right?
Yes.
Or people must just run, must just know that you have to 2 or 3 hectares, doesn't matter, all that land doesn't belong to you anymore. I think that sometimes maybe we must simplify this thing for them. EFF is in power on the 1st of June. What do you do on expropriation? Mind you and the ANC failed together, and all the black parties in the last 5 years, to do what the resolution was already giving you a check to do.
Yes. Well, you can't say you and the ANC failed together. The ANC chickened out at the last minute, and you must put the blame where it matters.
Yeah.
The ANC at the last minute, after we canvassed the whole country, majority of people said expropriate land without compensation. Submission said expropriate land without compensation. You are saying to me, people are scared. Which people? Because I've been all over South Africa. Parliament has been all over South Africa. You can go and find that in Parliament, where majority of people said expropriate land without compensation, and do what this guy of mine did in Midval. He didn't chase away the white man. He said, you've got too much big the land and you are not using it, all of it. So take your portion, I take my portion, then we use the land. All of it. But you can't do that if you don't own the land. So you first make the state the custodian of the land. You say, every piece of land, including Malema's house, is owned by the state. But we will know, yes, Malema's house, you can't tamper with it. Your property must include the building on top of the land. Then, once that is being allocated, we know there is Alex Mall, there is this, this land is used for this. Then there is this idling land. What do you do with it? You give to the landless. Why should Alexander be the way it is when there is a big open land next to it? The other one is there by Mall of Africa. They even developed it that the family. It's
99-year lease
now.
Waterfall.
But that land is owned by one family. And then the rich, the most clever blacks with money, go there to buy properties that are leased for 99 years. And they say we can't lease from the state, but they're prepared to lease from one family. So what? This is just hypocrisy. That's why I said to you, they don't mean it. They don't own property. And the bad thing with that one of Waterfall is that when the lease finishes, your children or great grandchildren, they don't have a right to inherit that land. Once the lease finishes, they must still buy. They must enter into a new lease and buy. So we are suggesting what is being done in Waterfall
already.
But by a private company.
Mm.
The people who are saying to you, these people can't take our land, what? They are staying in flats, and they are given sectional title deeds that you own here, but they don't own the land where they were prepared to buy apartments and flats. Most of these people are staying in estates that are not owned by them, but they've got a problem with the state ownership. So it's not real. The obsession that our people are obsessed with the piece of paper called a title deed is not true. The most effective way, we give the land to the state, we allocate wherever is already allocated, you are there, don't move. Then
do you get a sense that South Africa is ready for that?
It is. South Africa told you, JJ, we did public hearings on expropriation of land without compensation. The ANC,
that's why you nearly beat up Terala Gwada.
He was telling me nonsense. That's why I didn't want to come here and meet Gwede, because he is going to talk nonsense and I'll answer him. Because I don't care about age, I care about wisdom. You can be old and be stupid. There are old people without wisdom, a lot. And there are young people with too much wisdom, and you
I want to link into this thing about ANC and EFF because it's relevant in the context of what you try to do on the land. You went to put a
then they say
resolution.
No, expropriate the land without compensation, but it must be a rotten land. What do you do with a rotten land? They say this, you must expropriate the state-owned land. It's already ours. How can we expropriate what is ours?
No,
they were pretending to be.
Understand, but
and then they say the EFF sold out.
Is that
we were not going to vote for rotten land?
Is that
we want Sandton City?
So is that a deadlock in your view? Because I want to believe that should you come to a situation where you are on the table to try to negotiate some kind of a deal with the ANC, the land issue is going to be number one.
Yes.
Not just because it's your thing as the top of your agenda, but that's why the ANC was founded. So it should be something that's common between the two of you. When
I was in the ANC and Balega Mbete was a national chairperson, when she spoke about the land and how the Economic Commission at the CODESA sidelined the issue of the land, you know, it feels like she wants to cry about it because she knows the originality of where this compromise was made. So we will never miss each other with the ANC on the land question, because the ANC went to Nazareth and said we must expropriate without compensation, but elected wrong leadership,
who did not pursue that,
who were scared to pursue the resolution. Unlike 1944, when the Youth League was formed and took a resolution including the program of action to revive the ANC and to radicalize the South African struggle. The Youth League went to ANC 1949 conference and made the ANC to adopt its own resolutions, and then did not end there and said we need correct people to come and lead this. That's when they elected the correct leadership. Walter Sisulu was in that leadership, Nelson was in that leadership, O.R. Tambo was in that leadership, because they knew that we have got a progressive policy to take up arms against the murderous regime, but these pastors will not implement arms. We need people who are going to take up arms.
Do you think there is a hope between you and the ANC in terms of collaboration on a bigger scale? I'm not talking municipalities.
We are not far from what we are demanding is what was the original demand of 1912 when the revolution started in South Africa. Well, Nosiviwe is just like all of them. If anything, I wrote a letter through the Secretary General to National Director of Prosecution to prosecute Cyril. There was a case. There was an investigation on Bosasa by a lead prosecutor who went to make a presentation. During the presentation in one of the meetings of the NPA, asked Financial Intelligence Center, can you help me with this issue of Bosasa paying Cyril's son money? And when he was about to conclude his submission, Batoi said, stop it. That is not for this kind of meeting. We'll talk privately. And as a result, took the docket away from this guy. And then Zondo, with all his weaknesses, said Gwede must be prosecuted.
Yes.
And Gwede doesn't deny that he swallowed cameras. That's why he walks like that. Stomach full of stolen cameras of Bosasa. Nomvula used to eat chickens every month, every end of the year.
Every Christmas.
Yeah, every Christmas. You know whose chickens are those? Are chickens for prisoners. It's food for prisoners. So Bosasa, you got a tender to cook for prisoners. And then in December they buy more. Then the surplus get to be given to the ANC politicians. So majority of those ANC leaders, especially those ones of the Women's League, because Bosasa is a Women's League company.
Project,
it's like that
yeah.
thing we were calling Lembede investment in the Youth League. That's what Bosasa is.
Yeah.
So most of those leaders of the Women's League, for sure, chickens are crying in their stomachs because of how they were eaten from correctional service centers. Thabang Makwetla says, after so many years, I'm still waiting for invoice. What a stupid lie is that? Then, all of these people, they say, prosecute them. Nothing. They are not prosecuted. If you
Why do you think that's the case? Because it looks like Batoyi is not living up to expectations. I've just heard Gwede Mantashe here saying part of what they were trying to do over the last 5 years was to strengthen independent institutions, so that those are the institutions that then would prosecute. So it's not expected of them to prosecute themselves. I think that's in summary, that's what you were saying.
You know why Batoyi was taken there? Batoyi was taken there to go and squash the case of Van Lochenberg of SARS, of that unit they used to have at SARS. Remember? Van Lochenberg was already charged, and then the trial was running. In the middle of the trial, Batoyi gets appointed. The first thing she does, she's drop charges in the middle. Once you are there, it's no longer up to prosecution. The judge must make a decision about that. She was deployed there for that purpose, and she served the purpose, and that was Pravin's deployment.
So are you saying we must forget about NPA prosecuting any of these guys who's been fingered even by the State Capture Commission?
Okay, my brother, you are a journalist, and the good thing I like about you is that you are a professor of UNISA, you are in Pretoria. Make time to go and talk to prosecutors in the NPA. They will tell you how they've got so much evidence. I don't know how
to prosecute.
Yes, I don't know how this one survived of Nosiview. But by look of things, you can see they've been trying by all means to squash it. The ANC Veterans League that tells us every day about corrupt people and how corrupt people must be removed. Today they praise Nosiviwe
for resigning.
But she's got integrity, and she embarrasses them. She says, no, I didn't just resign. There is this woman called Pemima Jodina, who's pursuing me and wanted me to be charged so that I can step aside. So you can hear that it was not about integrity. She was pushed out by Majodina's WhatsApp group. So a lot of guys will be prosecuted, and they will be prosecuted successfully if Batoyi was allowing the prosecutors to do their work.
To be removed. So I can imagine the EFF government will have to have a new NPA head.
Absolutely. And you need an independent prosecuting authority. You need independent judiciary. You need infrastructural development. That's what grows the economy. It's not those things of whether the land is owned by the state or not.
I had a friend,
China owns its own land.
I had a friend dialogue with your deputy in Durban recently, and I asked him, is he irritated by a constant reference to the fact that the EFF may not be better when it comes to dealing with corruption when it does ascend, given the VBS, whatever you may say or not say about the VBS, etc. And that was just after the parliamentary committee, ethics committee, said to him, sorry, we are dealing with you. And I said to him, but has the EFF dealt with you similarly? Can you just deal with that once and for all? I mean, would the EFF government be less corrupt by virtue just of being opposed to the current corrupt ones?
The EFF government is not corrupt in Ekurhuleni. For so many months they've been in power, you never arrested or accused any of them about any wrongdoing. The EFF government is not corrupt in Johannesburg. You've got MMC of Public Safety and Health. Our MMC in eThekwini was removed for being in the forefront of service delivery. It was not corrupt. We've got 2 MMCs in Nelson Mandela Bay.
Yeah.
There's no corruption. The VBS was engineered to discredit the EFF. That's what I'm saying. There's always splitting of hairs.
Yeah.
To discredit the EFF by Praveen and them and Terry. Terry is still to apologize. This will haunt him to his grave. He must come and confess that he was used by Praveen, the whole senior council, to tarnish the good image of the EFF.
Yeah.
People are arrested, my brother. Why do you keep on hammering on this point? The EFF has been fighting Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
The EFF is fighting Zondo, that he was not properly appointed. The EFF is fighting Batoi. The EFF is fighting Noziviwe. These people are a problem. And with this evidence and we are the state, why are you not acting on them? There are people who, there's already a white man, a former CFO of VBS who's in jail. What stops these people from prosecuting Malema and Shibambo if they've got evidence that these people were engaged in wrongdoing? I've got no power. I can't stop any prosecutor. I can't dictate to any powers that be that you can't charge me or you can charge me.
So your government will be intolerant of corruption.
It is intolerant now. It will be in future, even internally in the EFF. Look at how we run our affairs. We run them professionally. We pay our salaries. We bought a building at the city center in less than 10 years. Parties have been here for centuries. They don't pay salaries. They don't own a property. How will you pay salaries? How will you own property? We even own a farm where we're going to build a school.
Tell me about that school, by the way. You have been talking on social media. You say, where's this school? You said people mustn't vote for you if your school is not there in 5 years. Just deal with that quickly for me.
The school is there. The farm has been bought. The plans have been approved. The plans have been drawn. Material is ready. There are professionals who are working.
So when will the school be ready?
No, wait. Then that Mogale City is not approving the plans. They say it's an agricultural land. We have to now, what do you call it?
Rezone
the thing. And then when we are about to rezone the thing, those Afrikaners there in Magaliesburg are objecting to the rezoning of agriculture.
But you still insist it will happen.
It's going to happen because it's the powers that be which are blocking it. It will happen. It's happening now. And remember, in that 5 years, we've got 2 years that were not functional of COVID. We are now 3 years in office effectively. But still, we did all manner of things. There's no one who asked us for a school. We have no obligation to build a school. We chose to do that. We took a decision to do it. So why do you talk like it was in an EFF manifesto? It's not a manifesto. It's a Congress resolution. It's an internal EFF NPA
and it's still
issue.
Going to happen.
It will happen. There's nothing that I said to you will happen and never come to pass.
Except the total shutdown of the grid. You did say it will be shut down in 2 weeks.
Well, you know that these guys, when they were supposed to do what they were supposed to do, they were not doing it. When I said there will be a total shutdown of the grid, I was waking them up, and they knew that this is real. We now have to intervene. That's why I told you that time. These guys met with the CIA, and CIA told them, if you don't do what you have to do, this thing is going to collapse. And once this thing collapses, we're out.
So you think Ramokgopa did a good job? I mean,
it's not him. That thing is public relations. Ramokgopa has got no capacity, none whatsoever, to do anything good. If you doubt, go and ask the residents of Tshwane. This DA is presiding over a rotten Tshwane, and with Action SA, we're blaming them. But they inherited it from Ramokgopa. So there's nothing. Ramokgopa, it's a fashionista who thinks he dresses smart and wants to appear on TV, and I don't know what else does he do. The guy messed up Tshwane. Tshwane became the home of slay queens under Ramokgopa and that guy who died was a speaker. If you go to the office of the speaker today in Tshwane and find the slave queens that are there, hired by these two, those people exist for fame, for likes, for niceties. They don't exist to change the lives of our people. That's why.
Yeah.
Is
it fair though to judge his job as electricity minister against his failure at Tshwane? I mean, I'm just talking about now.
I'm judging his job now.
Yeah.
He's earning a salary, but the lights are still off. The lights are off. Unless you are saying to me load shedding is a result.
What will EFF do differently? If you were to be in office tomorrow and you have to replace Ramokgopa with whoever it is that's cleverer, right? What will you do and how quickly?
Well, what we are going to do is to ensure that there is a mixed energy source.
Yeah.
Maintain the existing coal power stations.
Yeah.
Make sure they are functional optimally and get the best engineers to do the job.
Yeah.
And ensure that those who don't do their job and are corrupt are removed from responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's the immediate thing you can do. So you need to maintain the coal power stations, use them optimally, and ensure that when you service this power station, you have generated enough megawatts to can afford to shut this one down and be able to use the reserves that you have. By the time this maintenance finishes, if the megawatts are low, you open this.
Why do you think they can't do that now? I mean,
it's corruption.
They've appointed a good CEO, I think. I mean,
no, that's a very good guy. I know him. I grew up with that guy. We're together in the ANC. One of the most ethical people that I think will do the job. But he's surrounded by hyenas.
Sure.
And very soon they will destroy him. Because that's what they do. A good, disciplined person doesn't get rewarded in the ANC government.
Do you think that they appointed him deliberately just before an election?
No. They had no option this time because there was an internal revolt even amongst them. You brought a white male incompetent, and therefore we are not going to overlook the African who's competent, who's got the necessary expertise to be here. So their Pravin didn't have his way. And they were prepared to revolt against that. So it was not because of their choice. Everybody was now saying enough is enough now. So we need to use gas. We need to source gas. There are a lot of things that we should take over. So we need to switch over. For instance, why should they be cooking with the electricity stove when there is efficient gas stoves? Why should they be heating of water through electric geysers? There are so many things we can switch into gas and save a lot of electricity
as a policy issue and something that the public themselves can stay taking up. For example, the issue about subsidy on solar. I mean, would
absolutely
just subsidize solar?
That's why I say to you, you need a mixed source of energy. You cannot rely on one. You have to find solar, you have to find wind, you have to use coal as your base. You can't shut down coal. You can't say to me, shut down this coal power station that gives me 1,000 megawatts, and then there is no alternative clean green energy that gives me 1,000 megawatts. I will never shut it down. And that money that Cyril went to take and said we'll shut down our coal power stations, he will see how he pays them. Because we will not shut down our electricity for a non-existing alternative.
We need a full conversation about electricity on a different dialogue. But I've got limited time and I want to deal with a few more political issues. Let's quickly deal with coalitions. And you can use Ekurhuleni as an example. Do you have a hope that should the ANC fall below 50%, that we can have a decent conversation that can result in a coalition government that can actually function?
Do you know we had a functional government here in Johannesburg when the EFF put a mayor called Herman Mashaba through the TA? It was working so well, delivering so well. Mashaba was doing everything we said to him must do. Mashaba didn't know Elias Mutsualedi squatter camp was taken by the EFF there. Those toilets he provided was us. Mashaba didn't know Alexander. He stays here. He didn't know Alexander. He was brought here by the EFF to do cleanup campaign.
Yeah.
So we were not in government.
Yeah.
We just said, guys, do this thing.
Yeah.
We're going to support you. How can a capitalist of note say we must insource security guards? We insourced the security guards here. Mashaba, if he was implementing a DA policy, in which DA policy was they insourcing of cleaners and security guards? So we are not driven by ego. What makes the coalition to fail is not because people can't work together. It's because the so-called bigger parties are driven by egos and want to dictate as if they won elections when they've not won elections. The first thing you need to do when you don't get 50%, you must know anything is possible. You know, you're from Teflop. People used to lead SRC as president coming from SCO. Or some guy is popular, is an independent, he's coaching netball. And from there he gets elected as number one, and then Sasko just needs one vote. There's a guy who became a president of SRC in Teflop called Bafana. His popularity was netball. One vote. That guy said, no, I must be a president. And we made him a president, but took everything. Because the ANC and the DA can't differentiate between power and the glory. That's why the EFF was able to say in Ekurhuleni, well, put this mayor, we don't mind, we don't care. But we need 5 MMCs. Why? We knew that's where the power is. The mayor must cut ribbons. But whose ribbons, whose projects is the mayor going to cut ribbons for? It's our projects. We decide where this thing goes. So the ANC can't differentiate, and a lot of people can't differentiate between power and the glory. I'm prepared to give the EFF vote to the ANC. Nationally, if he doesn't get 50%,
and you don't need the glory of being a deputy president.
No, I don't need that. Then I'll make one demand: make Floyd Shibambo Minister of Finance. That's all.
I think they're going to refuse that.
Once we take that finance, because that's where the problem is, and the President Ramaphosa knows that. The problem in this country is the Department of Finance that is owned and controlled by Stellenbosch, and which engages in anti-poor policies. You need a radical, and it is so disappointing that a guy like David Masondo, who, by the way, taught us these things that we are talking about, goes there, and the next thing is counted in dinners with the Ruperts and them, because we thought with the introduction of that guy, that thing is going to be radicalized.
You don't think he can be the next Minister of Finance if the ANC was in total power?
I will not support him. They can decide. I don't care who they decide. It's their own thing. But I'm saying to you, if I've got this power, that I can influence which decision. I'm not obsessed with being president or deputy president.
You know that conventions that are taking place.
I can outsign a president if you make me a minister of sports, arts and culture.
That's probably why they
will think I'm a president.
That's probably why they're nervous. Don't you think so? That
they're not nervous.
Part of the conversations in the ANC about coalescing with the EFF is more about personality, that they can't stand to imagine you as deputy president of a country.
You see, my problem and what is going to kill me is a generational jealousy and envy, and not from anyone, from the people I grew up with, from the people I supported. They are the ones who are like, no, it's not going to happen. So I don't care about generational jealousy. I can die and 5 times and still wake up. I will still find them where they are. That's what they are. So they said I killed the Youth League, right? But do you know that our Youth League, difference of the ANC, not of the ANC Youth League, of the ANC, when we organize a Youth League 2011 in the history of the
solution, no, for this one
to say go. Not this one and why. Yes.
But I think that was a bit of an irritation, because you did tweet that was sort of distracting you from the work that was supposed to be happening. Did I speak
about Naledi? You're making your own assumptions. And then you want to put me in your own interpretation.
Didn't talk about that.
No, I didn't talk about it.
Tell me about
I don't have a problem with
tell me
that.
about Carl Neos. A lot of people say this guy just arrived and he's already number 20 on the list.
Let them blame their own leaders. Remember, we went to
Yeah.
Mabhida. After Mabhida, immediately we had a list.
Yes.
Carl Neos shocked me.
Yeah.
But not only
shocked
shocked
by,
me.
by how
He was too high.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Muzwanele Manye
Yeah.
was too high. And Busisiwe Mkhwebane,
Yeah.
too high. We have never
So
had
you
to
had
intervene.
nothing to do with it.
We have never
Yeah.
had to intervene
Yeah.
with those people. For those people.
So,
Never.
so you're saying they have their own constituency even within EFF that has propelled them to be where they are.
Well, the EFF believes that there must now be an element of professionalism.
Yeah.
It's kind of Amanda. There must be people who are professionals, who
Yeah.
understand this thing and who have run some of the institutions before.
Yeah.
Jimmy has got Muzwanele is going to
Muzwanele,
fight
hey,
with
he's
me.
gonna kill you. Hey,
But
hey.
I know him from a long time ago. That's why I'm using wrong names now. He's
Yeah.
got his own experience.
Absolutely.
Carl Neos was Nelson Mandela's spokesperson, only accused of having lied about his mother passing away
Yeah.
and collecting money from people, a mistake he has accepted and sincerely apologized. Why do you still want to kill him? Because he's a white man who must continue what apartheid did to him for saying you are an outcast. No. And for parliament, there is no restriction of when did you join.
Yeah.
No, for parliament, you can join today and go to parliament tomorrow.
Yeah, I see that.
But for the EFF structures,
Yeah.
you cannot. So Mzwanele, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, Carl Neos and them,
Yeah.
Mzobe in KZN, we're going to conference now of the EFF in December. They don't qualify to stand for the strike, because what is important to us is to safeguard the organization called the EFF and be led by people that we know have been in the trenches with us for a particular period. Once we secure the EFF, there's nothing we can't secure, because if you go to parliament and you are a wrong person, with a secured, solid organization, we can recall you from parliament, and there's nothing we can do. We've recalled them before.
Let's talk about, as we round off the question, the last constituency now, the LGBTQ plus community. You know, what's the EFF putting on the table for that community? Because it looks like they seem to be marginalized, are not a big election issue, etc. Round off my conversation with that.
The LGBTQ plus community, EFF is their home.
Yeah.
They know that, and they know that the EFF has always advocated for their rights.
Yeah.
We were the only organization that marched to Uganda to fight for LGBTQ plus communities' rights in Uganda.
Yeah.
Then we went to the UCT to have a lecture with Prof.
Lumumba. And you are lambasted for that. Because
No, we were not lambasted.
Yeah.
We were not lambasted. It was manufactured outcry by that constitutional expert from UCT.
Yeah.
Who did not organize any protest against Museveni.
Yeah.
Museveni, who signed this into law.
Yeah.
You are marching against the person who says I support this. But the person who enacted this was here in South Africa.
Yeah, and nobody marched against him. Yeah.
Only the EFF. Which other president have you ever seen wearing the rainbow flag? In all of these political parties, except the president of the EFF. This is the home of everyone. Black, white, Indian, colored, and all forms of gender.
Yeah.
They are more than welcome into this organization. We don't judge people on the basis of their appearance. We judge people on the basis of their ideological orientation and the support for the working class. That's all.
A lot of people lambasting you for changing your views on Judge Tlhophe, 4 or 5 years down the line. Just deal with that once and for all.
No. I didn't change any views about Judge Tlhophe.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, I can disagree with you, my brother, too much. Me and you disagreed a lot.
Times. Yeah.
And we're not far apart now.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't make you a flip-flopper.
Yeah.
You got exposed to certain things and appreciation, and you were like, okay, but it looks like there can be something out of this people.
So explain the Tlhophe one.
So Tlhophe
Yeah.
was treated unfairly, despite whatever I said about him.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that kind of punishment.
Yeah.
I disagreed with him, but you can't say a judge who says we're relying on you guys, and you say that is an impeachable offense. I did not disagree with Judge Tlhophe for Judge Tlhophe to die.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to disagree with a lot of people politically. But when you unfairly treat them, I will never agree with that. I will defend your right, my brother, to disagree with me.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to allow someone to violate you because I disagree with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that will be a good note to leave it on. So, Union Buildings, you are marching in.
We have started marching to Union Building that day when we're celebrating 10 years anniversary of the EFF. That's where it was made very clear that this organization has grown so much and is prepared to lead this country. So you have kept me here for too long. I'm going to dinner of Thibo Touch. It's his birthday today.
Oh, is that so? Do pass my greetings to him.
So I was supposed to be there by 7 o'clock. So.
But thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. All the best with the remaining time towards the 29th of May.
Thank you. It's always nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much. That's the CIC of the EFF, Julius Malema, here on the Frank Dialogue on your radio. That was our election festival. I hope you enjoyed it. We hope that we will be able to do one more like this with the other leaders.